And here we go. This is going to be a bit of an adventure for two reasons. First of all, it had a problem saving the world again. I decided to just leave it. Let it try and save the world for as long as it wants to. I left it for 6 hours trying to save the world. And it ran out of memory while I was gone. So we may have another case of things not having been properly saved. I have all my books. I have all the saplings I was going to farm. Backpack looks fine. Bags haven't been mysteriously cloned. So I guess everything is fine. The other reason, more importantly, is that once I get these trees planted and harvested to collect their valuable pigment, we're going to be cracking open these 2 barrels. Because in there should be the incandescent amalgamation explosives that have been brewing for about 3 days now. So that's going to be fun. But of course, didn't have to start with collecting more pigment, which I'm sure everybody loves to watch. Bone mealing and smashing trees. With half an eye on the mini-map just to be sure that nothing comes out of nowhere to bite me. And there is a red dot in this direction at my altitude, and fortunately it's on fire, so I don't really have to care. That zombie will surely disappear on his own soon enough. I just noticed the axe we're using is the charcoalinator, which I guess is not the axe I meant to use, but it's fine. We can increase our charcoal reserves. That's not a problem. I certainly don't need any more colored wood. And once we crack open that incandescent amalgamation, we can kind of 2 birds, 1 stone. A couple of the exploration achievements we're missing in the deeping darks. I forget what it's called already. It's been a couple days. The Down Under, whatever. Below the bedrock. The Spectrum Deep Dark. We will break into those seed vaults that are locked behind Dragonbone, and in so doing, we will break Dragonbone for the first time. I do not remember having 9 white saplings. But you know what? It's fine. Bring on all the white pigment. Just stop inefficiently burning bone meal and we can be friends. Also, and I know this is kind of a tangent at this point, but it's a bit funny to me that that we built this chicken farm over here specifically to farm feathers, so I could put them onto my Hephaestus boots for levels of feather falling. And then not only did we never really breed up enough chickens to get the sheer volume of feathers required, but I just, found boots of feather falling and stole the enchantment and did it that way. So the whole chicken farm we've got going on is just a waste of space. Well, at least I had the foresight to build the chicken farm far enough away from the base, so I don't have to hear the loud clucking incessantly. I did not have the foresight to put the cow farm similarly far from the base, meaning there are cow noises in the base all the time. I never claimed that every single one of my moves was some kind of secret genius play. That may actually be part of why I don't explain everything. So when I do something that's completely dumb, I'm not blatantly saying, oh yeah, this is dumb. I leave the viewer to wonder if what I'm doing is calculated or just a dumbass move. Keep them guessing. I'm sure this strategy has not worked in the slightest. The white is kind of filling up there, and I am not running out of saplings anytime soon. So I guess we can just call the white done for now and switch to orange. Where was orange? Right next to white for some reason. I'm sure the order in which pigments and dyes appear in the crafting list makes sense to someone, somewhere, somewhere, but not to me. I am definitely going to run out of bone meal before I run out of saplings. But I think we'll call the end of bone meal the end of the tree farming. Better that than running out of inventory space and being even more embarrassed. Or running out of side ribbon, which would be equally annoying. I'm also going to have to farm more light blue at some point to feed my gloves some more. But the sheer amount of light blue required in that is, it's going to be a bit. Oh no. What? Why? Where did these blocks go? Well, I found what didn't save. And now I have something else to do. So, gloriously and very, very helpfully, the blocks that I was using to redstone control sunlight to prevent my jade vine from being exposed to sunlight and dying disappeared. They just disappeared. Those blocks are gone for no apparent reason. And so, as a result of the shading blocks being gone, my jade vine has been exposed to the sunlight, and it's dead. On the plus side, we got some jade jelly out of the sun cooking it, and more bulbs than we had to begin with, so I guess it's not entirely a bad thing. I am still... Yes, keep feeding me recipes. I'm kind of busy right now. So it's really only these two blocks that got evaporated. Seriously, where did they go? I don't even know. Damn it, Minecraft, you can't just delete blocks from a redstone contraption. That is beyond rude. So now we have Jade Jelly, which does things. Okay, it does things. And can be cooked into Jeramel, which is where that comes from. And Jeramel has a few cooking uses, including this monster trifle, which apparently has a 20% chance of doing a lot of things, and a guaranteed chance of doing nothing. A Jeramel trifle, same thing as the monster trifle without the key toxic powder. And the Jeramel tart, which is a result of using milk instead of egg. Ooh, Demon trifle, with a chance of applying frenzy. Decently high chance, but it's still just a chance. Also goes into brewing for more cella with the mushroom mycelium. And is an ingredient in bristle mead, but we knew that. So hey, yet another new mystery ingredient, mostly for food purposes. We only have 3 dead bulbs, which I'm going to have to revive for 16 vegetal each. And we don't have the Vegetal, so I'm going to have to go collect some more Vegetal from the forest. Which in turn means give me 2 bottles. And a nap since it's apparently dark. We'll get to those explosives. We will. There's just a bunch of cascading problems that have to be dealt with first. Well, some more glass beaches in it for us. Mostly way up there. Be nice if these trees grew shorter, but that's not entirely within my control. And I see a pink leaf block with a peach inside the tree. We'll just leave that alone. But hey, glass peaches. Tasty. That's a creeper. Now we will take both fading blocks, reposition them so... Hello, zombie. Just be gone. Reposition them so they can make more. And I think the best place for that is right here. Because that connects to this leaf patch and this leaf patch. And maybe it can reach up into the upper branches, though I'm not sure. And this other one, we can bring over here closer to the base. So it's less of a hike. Let's put it right here in the middle of everything. Now, time to collect some Vegetal. I have no idea if the fortune property works on it, but the 3x3 digging and the fact that this is a hoe type tool certainly does. And that's all I really care about. We can even leave that group over there alone, since over to, well, maybe we can. Because 16 per, that's going to consume almost entirely one of these stacks. Excellent. How is there this one forgotten block on the ground? That's a little weird. We can see that our transplanted fading bacteria is already beginning to work. Okay, and that should be all the tree harvesting I need to do for today. More bismuth clusters. I think I've harvested enough of that for now. Now it's 3 bulbs. 1, 2, 3 times 16. And then 3 buckets of liquid crystal, which is usually the annoying part. But fortunately I have access to the deeper down, which means there are just lakes of it sitting around wherever you could need. Also, I'm having a slight problem in that I have more vegetal than I can easily store. Not sure what to do about that right now. Maybe I don't need to waste slots on a couple of these things. I mean, I am going to need some ladders. And we can maybe find somewhere else for those as well. I definitely don't need 1 jungle fence. That's just silly. That'll do. For now. Now we dispose of the jungle fence. The ladders are going to be for breaking into seed vaults shortly. And now it's time to open those barrels. Or, wait, I need 3 buckets first. But more important than those barrels is getting our jade vines back online. Which we now have 3 of, compared to the 1 we had a second before they burned. So maybe I should be treating this as the game doing us a favor. Also, we have pillagers in the distance. They can just go do pillager things. I'm not interested in their trespass. And there we have it. 3 jade vines, and the jadeite lotuses still aren't growing. I really don't know what it takes to make these grow. Maybe they need to not be inside. Maybe they need more light, more artificial light. I have no idea. Maybe they can't be grown. But if that were the case, why allow them to be planted? I just don't know. Anyway, now the taunting is over. These have been in for 3 days. We now have 8 incandescent amalgam with explosion power of 8. This is dangerous stuff. I'm going to use some of them to make pure alcohol, so I can then use the pure alcohol to further multiply my amalgam. Apparently I can use gunpowder to get 2 or doom bloom to get 4. It's pretty clear which of those is the better recipe. The pure alcohol, though, is going to be the important thing. We have 8 of these. I think we'll start with 2. 2 is fine. We're going to use these weird brews down. Wait, that says luck 5. Okay. Who cares if that has 30 seconds of poison? Luck 5 is nuts. Frenzy, Swiftness, Vulnerability. Yeah, Vulnerability is terrible. So we will take these as the sacrificial booze. And then it's 4 blaze powder per and 2 buckets of water. Why do I have no blaze powder? I tell you, everything about this is what I call a fractal task. Everything you want to do is composed of steps, and then those steps are composed of steps, and those steps are composed of steps, until you find yourself power washing the driveway because you were trying to clean the garage. Okay, that should be everything. We have some booze and some booze. Some water and some water. 4 blaze powder and 4 blaze powder. And 1 high explosive in each. Seal them up. And that will take 2 days. More likely 3 to be safe, because this is just not a safe measure. Not good to make assumptions with the brewing process. And now it's time to go back down into the deeping darks and blow some stuff up. The incandescent amalgam, you know what it says? Explosion power 8. I don't actually know if that's strong enough. I hope it is. I know it goes up in power as it's left to brew for longer. And I also remember that you used to be able to just find some. That's why I kept checking all the sub-rooms in those seed vaults. Because there used to just be incandescent amalgam, especially in that upstairs area with all the pipe bombs. But that was apparently removed, thus making it necessary to brew your own. Now we're going over there. And there is black garbage down here, and stuff and things. I need the staff. We have refilled on yellow. All is well. Let's go cause some problems. The radiance pin is trying desperately to light up our way, but it's only really capable of placing lights behind us as we're moving forward. It's not the greatest, but at least it's something, especially if you are in the process of digging. Because then you're moving slowly enough that it kind of matters. Oh, this is light blue. I can take... no. No, we focus. We focus on the task. It's also still puzzling to me that all these signs are supposed to have things written on them. And I don't know how or why that broke. Because last time I played through this, which was like a minor version revision ago, it was different. Because it had the incandescent amalgam up here in these amphora, and the signs had lighting, and it was just different. I don't know what's gone wrong in the most recent update. So here's the Dragonbone Gate. Replace the amalgam, which that's different too. It used to like stick onto the side. So we've placed it. It's a high yield explosive that's triggered by the slightest force of any kind. Which means I'm going to stand way back here and crossbow it. And miss. Boom. Fortunately, Preservation Stone doesn't burn very well. It also obliterated whatever little lights were in the area. We'll just put some back. And we have successfully cracked all the dragon bone. Next step, busting it. That's many recipes unlocked, 136. Yikes. Very yikes. Breaking the cracked dragon bone sometimes yields the cracked dragon bone, sometimes yields chunks. I don't believe the cracked dragon bone blocks themselves do anything. You actually want the chunks. So why is there black slag in here? Could I have mined into this from below the whole time? No. There's just black slag for no reason. And there's still turrets in here somewhere. Looks like they are upstairs. And down here it's just tons and tons of amphora to loot. Let me take my garbage bricks. And then place some ladders. And sneak up here to kill this. And that secures the area. We are now safe. So, we have cracked dragonbone, which has no uses. Dragonbone chunks, which makes the Staff of Remembrance. By consuming light gray ink, you can turn mobs into those memory eggs that we've collected from the mausoleums. It also makes shingles. Why you would want to make shingles is completely beyond me, considering how difficult it is to get dragonbone chunks. And what is polished bone ash? Why, it's a block of bone ash. What is bone ash? Bone ash is what happens when you cinderhearth a dragonbone block, a chunk. So again, the dragonbone is ludicrously expensive because you have to brew explosives, which takes days to crack and harvest the dragonbone. And then if you really, really want, you can make shingles out of it. Why would anyone do this? You can also use the dragon bone chunks, something, and some kind of tea-based leaf to create a kindling. Interesting. So this is literally the creation of a new creature. Or you can, as stated, ash the dragon bone, which seems stupid to me. Anything else in the wonderful world of book? Oh yeah, plenty. Malachite, I still haven't grown with the crystallarium. Dragon bone. Dragon bone, they're blocked, magical aura, explosions, super explosions, turn to ash, polished bone ash shingles, and other decorative blocks made of this super expensive and difficult to harvest material. Why? And you can convert them back. Redstone components, block breaker, made from bone ash. And pyrite, and it destroys the block in front of it. Breaks blocks up to iron tier. Well, then it's useless. Tarts, trifles, and jelly tea. We've already seen these. They were the Jeremel recipes. Puff tart, projectile rebound with dragon's breath? Small chance for projectiles to simply deflect off of you for 30 seconds. It's useless. Wispy tart. Reset your sleep timer. That might not be useless. Dolphin's grace and conduit power. Lava gliding. See and swim in lava as though it were water, but does not make you fire immune. Interesting. And then the classic tart. Also trifles, which we looked at. Gives out effects at random, fancy again. Yeah, not interested. Especially since every effect is counterbalanced by its exact opposite effect at the same chance. Magical items, the staff that we looked at. Tap items to turn them into a memory. And creating life. Here we are with kindlings, where it believes that we can use dragon bone chunks to resurrect a dragon. And then it goes ahead and tells us that no, it's not a dragon. It's some kind of weird, chimeric, feathery nonsense. But maybe you can use shears to clip their feathers. Okay, I guess. And then memories are used, well, if you have a creature's head, vegetal, and a bonding agent. Usually it's food. You can create a memory of a creature. If you use Neolith, then you can turn the head into making the resulting memory unrecognizable. I don't know if that means the creature is random, or if it means it's still the same creature, it just doesn't tell you what the creature is. Placing on a weight, certain blocks seem to speed up or stop it entirely. That's the blazing and icy crystalline blocks that were in the mausoleum. This is when you're supposed to learn about that. And finally, we still have one more new resource, which is the indestructible blocks at the very bottom. So, that's kind of a lot going on. But nowhere near as much as opening these, where we get 4-leaf clovers for free, aloe leaves, glistering melon seeds in case I hadn't made any, more aloe, nephrite blossoms, which we've already planted some, so I don't care. Do they do anything? They make soup. And I mean, this isn't a terrible brew. It's hard to tell what it actually does because it's just not clear, especially since it's picking up some negative effects as it brews longer. What I'm seeing is the short version, 72 days, which is Minecraft days, not real days, is weakest. 720 is strongest, and then as it goes into 7200, it weakens again and the negative effects get worse. So I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work, but we'll take some nephrite. More clovers, regular seeds, I just don't need, don't care. More nephrite. That's the top of that's a stack of nephrite. A stack of nephrite is going to be enough. We will not take stacks and stacks of nephrite rewards. More jadeite. More clovers and aloe. More aloe and seeds, and nephrite we don't care about. More aloe and perfectly normal seeds. And that's basically going to be the pattern. All the plant seeds you could possibly ask for. That is the loot for blowing open this extremely well-guarded place. Melon seeds, pumpkin seeds, seeds of every plant this underground civilization had access to. As I'm just looking and looking for something to make it all worth it. There's gotta be something in here to justify needing a super explosive to break in. All these glistering melon seeds, I guess, are something if you really need to make some health potions. But I've had glistering melons growing for a long time. Simply haven't needed them. And I'm certainly not going to need an entire stack of glistering melon seeds. But we're going to take one because the difference between 5 and 64 changes nothing in terms of my own capacity. We're just looking, and there's just stuff that we already have in here. That's a lot of jadeite. Alright, that leaves the central column. which also contains nothing new. And that's it. That's the whole place. We have successfully breached the seed vault, and it has told us nothing. We found nothing new down here. Also, where did the clue pages go? Well, that's up here. That was here. We still need to reach the bottom again. That's what both of these are. Cities, civilization, black land gas, dragon bone. Humming stones, moonstones. And there is no clue page. I was sure this was a progression step. But I guess not. There is nothing here. Well, we blew it up, and it told us nothing. Now we have some dragon bone, a ton of new of plants. I hesitate to call them new. It's just plants. Now I can blacken this seed vault marker because we've been here, loaded it, it's completely torn apart. Give me your light blue trees. I've decided I am shredding the light blue after all. Why they decorated it with fence gates and buttons, I have no idea. Maybe to... It's not even to simulate roots, it's just weird. Ancient civilization had a sense of aesthetics. I'd hesitate to call it a good sense of aesthetics. But at least they knew what they wanted things to look like. Ancient chiseled black slag. Also tons of sea pickles. And I guess I can replenish... I don't really need to replenish my crystal tank. But I will. Of the whole 3 buckets we used to revive our blooms, I guess that the next thing to do is to go back to the home staircase, blast the dragon bone that's in our way of advancing the staircase, and continue on down to the deepest levels. While avoiding these things. Because we hate them, and justifiably so. Alright, we still have our water disaster. Which allows us to swift swim up to the level where the staircase is. And then continue down to where the staircase is gone. Run up the stairs, that's fine. And prepare to make things go boom. Specifically as much as of this thing that's in the way as possible. So we'll just stick that there. It's attached to the underside of that. Just trust me on that. Use distance, prepare a shot. And that flame is uncomfortably close. So also, I don't really know what the Spectrum mod's idea of a big crater is, but this isn't it. Oh, then more malachite. Do I really want more malachite? Not really. What I want to do is harvest this cracked dragon bone so it's no longer in my way. That didn't even crack all of it. Just the bits that were closest to the blast. And considering the staircase needs to proceed down through the dragon bone, I may need another blast. Those hissing noises are never good. I think they're closing in. But if I hang out on top of this dragon bone, they can't get me because it's not connected to anything. Yeah, I'm basically floating. What are you gonna do? So what do we do about our small problem? Dump Midnight Solution on it? Drop the pipe bomb? The pipe bomb probably won't work very well, because I'm very close to the ground still. Blowing myself up to get one enemy is just really not the strategy. Huh. That one cracked. But none of the others did over there. Nothing here cracked. And of course I'm standing on cracked. With the irritation below, and it sounds like another one on the way. Yep, there he is. I guess the smartest answer would be to just go ahead and dump some garbage on them. Because we know that'll kill them. Alright, that's one down. The second one is behind that somewhere. And yes, I am totally fine with turning all this into black materia. Just go ahead and turn rotten ground into black materia. Makes no difference to me. There's another one. Didn't I just place fluid to kill all of you things? What is it going to take to melt these things? That one almost reached me by swimming up the doom fluid. And I still hear one in the area. What a pain. And yep, we need another blast. So this dragon bone needs to go. So, time to back off up the staircase and make one more crater. Okay, I guess that kills whatever was in the area. Probably some silverfish, among other lesser problems. Cracked some more dragon bone, revealed more dragon bone in the wall, which is not itself cracked. And stripped layer off the staircase. In order for the staircase to continue, this dragon bone has to be blasted too. Is there more behind it? No. It ends here. Well, alright then. One more boom. cook up some more silverfish and promptly set them on fire. I'll concede this is starting to look a little more like a crater than it did before. Alright, now once we're through this dragon bone, the stairway may continue. But I should probably collect my dragon bone before getting too deep into the whole staircase thing. I blasted the magical resistance off of a large number of these previously completely indestructible blocks. There is a certain glee in collecting the uncollectible. I also kind of wonder if Dragon Ash and Dragon Bone building blocks have, like, an extreme blast resistance. Maybe that's the point of using them? But at the same time, who is going to be using incandescent amalgam charges to demolish somebody's base? It's expensive and silly for the same reason that using Dragon Bone as decor is expensive and silly. Let's also plant these Dragon Jags because they are useless. And now we return to dig. Ooh, there's even more down than we were counting on. Which is, if you think about it, exceptionally weird. Because we've been seeing the indestructible downstone already. Touch is over there. Here it is in patches. So really, how can this be? How can we have even more down? Also, there's lots of this Dragon Jack stuff. As previously noted, it doesn't do anything. It's just an ambient plant. You know, I sure wouldn't mind all this gold. I know I said in the past that we had plenty of gold, but then I looked at my stocks back home and I'm not so sure anymore. Bedrock 2 I haven't reached it yet. What are you talking about? It must be keyed off of reaching a certain altitude. Depth. Oh look, downstone. We're passing it by. Oh, nope, not quite. We have hit it. Well, that's useful. We have some open pockets down here, some moonstone, some dragon rot this far down. There's just not a lot down here. Got downstone. Immensely hard, even bedrock is a laugh compared to it. That probably means not even Ruin can eat it. But now that we're here, there are maybe 2 more secrets in 2 or 3 more secrets in the mod that I can think of. So in terms of progression, we're very close to done. Even though I haven't made all the tools because I just don't want to. I'll put a bottle of Ruin here. It probably won't do a thing, because I'm only having it target this downstone block. I don't even really know what I'm digging around to possibly find. Like, why am I even drilling? We can see from the map that there's nothing here. Even the universe spy holes just reveal pretty much black in all directions. That's up, but we have more dragon rot. That's not great. There's a tiny pocket over there with some glowberries. There's absolutely nothing in this direction. There's absolutely nothing down lower. Of course, you can only trust these spirals to a very limited degree, because their vision doesn't extend very far. Especially down here in the deep down. Because darkness is even more aggressive. So they are now twice as useless. The only thing I can think to try now is to use amalgam to try and blow up the downstone. But that, I mean, that's not gonna work, right? If it's harder than bedrock. Hello, fire. Oh, I stepped in the fire. My circlet broke, saving me from the fire. So we definitely did not crack the downstone. Not even a little bit. What'll it take to get through this? I don't think we can. I think this literally is the new bedrock, and it's unbreakable. That's not happening. When will they learn? When will the spammers ever learn that I don't put up with that kind of garbage? Oh, hang on. I stripped an additional layer off of the staircase. That's more deep slate. Now, as we grab what little stairs we have, start the way back up. As we have reached the bottom, and there is nothing here. Nothing at all. Anywhere within our visual area. Oh. But these might be something that's strangely organized, isn't it? This, too, is very strangely organized. Let's go find out what some of this is. That is one question mark. This is the same one question mark. And then over here, we're going to have to place a few question marks. And there are some more of the organized things. I wonder if this is just Dragon Bow that I'm seeing. Anyway, we have some exploring to do to the east. Wait. This is our Moonstone Geode. It's just over there. So I'm not drilling. We're going to go over to our Moonstone Geode, and that'll give us a head start. It's a little awkward to jump upstairs when you have a slight jump boost. It takes just a little bit longer. Look at all the freaking insects. Look, and more of them. Let me, have a gift. It may have killed a few. I think it mostly made some fire, that's about it. Hooray, pipe bombs. Scary but useless. Nope, this looks like another light blue tree. We can tear that apart too. They tried to make a pretty tree, and it just looks so sparse and anemic. But yes, I'd love to harvest free light blue ink from the undergardens of the lost civilization. Just like I'm perfectly fine stealing everything else. They're all dead. What do they care? I guess while we're here, we can use the resonant pickaxe to just grab some budding. I didn't actually want this bud. I just want the budding runestone so I can take it home and start work on my own artificial geode. Or at least have the blocks ready for when I want to do that. Oops, one of these is not budding. Then we don't need it. $10 should be plenty. It's not like I don't have a supply of moonstone already. So we have budding moonstone, light blue pigment, blocks of rotten ground I don't need, universe spy holes that don't do a thing for us. But the important thing for right now is to go find out what these dots are. Glazed terracotta. Huh? It's a mausoleum room without the mausoleum. So there's no graveyard. It's just a burial chamber with all the same stuff that's normally in a burial chamber. So we have successfully found nothing. I guess, unless you want one of these darkened memories, which don't even pick up, they get destroyed. I suppose I could silk touch them, and they still get destroyed. Well, that's unfortunate. But I suppose that's better than allowing the player to pick up memory, faded, dead, will never manifest. Which is what these previously dropped. So we have established that the single question marks are just mausoleum rooms. This leaves the triple question mark as a mystery. A mystery we will now drill our way toward. I can hear the eraser bugs up there. Not that they matter, because we are down here. And automatically lighting the tunnel as we go, thanks to the radiant pin. The drawback to the radiant pin is that these lights are temporary, and I don't know when they disappear. More granite. Didn't I junk my granite already somehow? No? I know I had granite, and then I stopped having granite. I must have put it in a box somewhere. Such as back in the mausoleum we just left. That makes sense. That's probably where it went. Alright, now the mystery place is pretty much on our right. What are we getting into? A big open room that is, of course, below us. probably should not be grabbing this iron, but it's a reflex at this point. How could more metal be bad? Oh, looks like we breached in. We're still very high up. At least in comparison to the room we're breaking into. Having a giant open place like this will make it easier to leave later. Alright, let's get some light on the situation. There we go. Clear as day. What have we learned? Nothing. And there's still bugs in here. I tried to light this place up with maximum aggression to prevent bug spawns, and we've got bugs. We have lots of bugs. So what do we have? Black slag bricks in a strange claw-like formation, a building of some kind. The achievement, stumble over an excavation site. So that tells us this is called an excavation site. To repeat the obvious. There's something leading here. And then we got a preservation chest, some roundels with pickaxe and iron. Some lights. What is this? Shimmering preservation bricks. Preservation stone. Here we have reinforced deep slate, regular cobbled deep slate, a lodestone, and downstone fragments. Harvesting downstone? The technology was definitely there. So we got lumps of downstone everywhere, a big mechanism made of black slag and copper. I gotta deal with these bugs. The screeching is very annoying. Oh, that's an interesting place for a bug. I don't know how they got jammed there, but that's more than a small blessing. Let's see. Rotten flesh, stonecutter, black slag coal ore, diorite, and deep slate. not very interesting. You can also have my garbage. Black slag iron ore. And cobbled deep slate and deep slate. We'll take the ores. Why not? Again, reinforced deep slate. It said we could harvest this. But why? A roundel of rotten flesh. More downstone. This must be their harvested downstone. Just to have it so kindly piled in the corner here. The building itself is made of Noxcap wood, black slag stone, and they built this harvesting platform. Oh no, more bugs. End rod. They have a drill made of end rod, diorite, copper, and shale clay. They weren't going anywhere, they were just collecting the downstone. And the drill itself is hollow, filled with some kind of liquid. Looks like water. Hopper is locked, so there's a redstone signal on it. From what? Whatever's lighting that lantern. So there's a lever underneath this slab. I guess this slab is supposed to represent like a conveyor belt. So the idea is that they were supposedly having this drill running. And stuff filtered up through the center of the drill. Up this water vapor. There's a bubble column inside the drill. Which means they have soul sand down there inside the drill. And then the resources that were drilled, I guess, flowed down the slabs, which are supposed to represent conveyor belts, as I said, or maybe there's a water channel. I mean, who knows? And then it went into the hopper and into the chest. And that's how they got the downstone fragments, which make life drain? Or enchant into who knows what, and that's all they're good for. What? We got the check mark on now that bedrock is at the bottom. We got the check mark on how were the ruins created. We have everything. So, cities, everyone's gone. Dimension floor. A moment ago, you thought bedrock was indestructible, and now here you are, with downstone. Apparently, downstone was not completely indestructible for previous inhabitants. It took immense high-tech constructs, but they were able to process stone and make preservation stone from it. The Black Landghast, Dragonbone, Humming Stone, Moonstone, and that's it. That's all the clues. We have, at this point, almost all the lore. Which means it's time to get out of this hole and get back to where we were going. Which, I don't remember where we were going, or if we were going anywhere at all. But this was an excavation site, which we can blacken because we have everything from it. So we have to go back to the surface now. And I don't remember why. I was thinking about it just a few minutes ago. I mean, maybe a minute, maybe more. And I already don't remember why we have to go back to the surface, but we do. Now I remember. It's because another thing that we have to do is go back up to the color mixing preservation vault and do the colors that we couldn't do before because we didn't have access to black and white before. And we also have to grow our crystals in the crystallarium. And that's pretty much two of the last three things. The last three, well, there may be one more secret beyond that that Spectrum has to offer. One of the ones that we still haven't discovered that's bothering me is that I know there's a way to create budding onyx. But we haven't discovered the recipe. don't know why. I wonder if it involves malachite. I just have no idea. Anyway, so we have a few things to do now, some of which involve ink, at least one of which involves exploration. And hopefully this is still running. It seems to be. These are doing well. These still aren't, and I still don't know what to do about that. We have our single remaining incandescent bomb. And it's time to pack everything away. What needs to get melted? The lodestone. The lodestone melts into netherite. This iron ore can be melted into 2 nuggets and 6. Or 2 ingots and 6 nuggets. Hmm. Surely almost any other answer would be better. You have all these 4-leaf clovers. I've done nothing with them because they don't appear to do much of anything valuable. I mean, extra hearts, but that's a ring slot. Don't want it. I already have all the extra hearts I could want in the form of my Azure Dike, which I also need to walk through Azure Dike barriers. Luck potions. Do luck potions matter? No, because I can get luck 2 from Jinn. So 4-leaf clover is terrible, and should feel bad. We got dragon bone, we got the dragon bone chunks. Actually, let's make some of these. 8 and 4 and a jade petal, or a jadeite petal. We'll just make 4 of them. What could go wrong? I also have where did I put my budding citrine? There. Budding citrine, budding amethyst. Budding moonstone right there with it. Now these are less valuable, I think. And then it was 4 vegetal per. So another 16 vegetal. And that will make us our thingy. Our thingy McDude. I guess these ores can just go in here for now. I'm not doing anything with them right now. Raw iron. Downstone fragments. What are they for? No idea. Moonstone core. There you go. More malachite. More assorted nonsense. An entire stack of glistering melon seeds. I'm sure that's necessary for absolutely nothing at all. Bunches of bulbs I don't need and can't use. And don't have stored or space for. The extra bulbs, I could make that shallot soup, but it would cost me a living jade vine bulb. Too high a price. I could make aqua regia, but I don't have any petals. And aqua regia goes into the soup. So why would I want aqua regia at all? Burn the bulbs. And then I have this one block of friggin' reinforced deep slate. What am I supposed to do with that? Vegetal, Dragon Bone, Death to You, Jadeite. Oh, there's a shooting star over there. I don't see any more in the area, but one is enough. Like that. Also, where has that Enderman been? Every time I've been out here to search and hunt down Endermen, there haven't been any. But now that I don't care anymore, he's just out here, wandering around, being a nuisance. Okay, so here's the plan with these kindling things. I'm gonna get some blazing crystals to put the memories on. But I'm also going to need somewhere very secure to house them. And that is going to involve a cobblestone. $29 Stardust. That's a good break. And then some buds we don't really care about. Oh, and a cluster. Cluster's good, bud's bad. What we're going to do for containment of the creature is take over the chicken pen. I can get more chickens if I want. And I'm just going to go ahead and build a wall of fairly arbitrary height. And I'm rapidly running out of wall. It also needs a ceiling. And inside this wonderful new stone prison, we're placing our 4 blazing crystal blocks. And I will be putting the weird dragon thing memories on those blocks. Just give me a minute to complete the enclosure, because these things can be pretty energetic. need some more wall. We need some more slab. Probably need some more slab besides, but I'd rather not have extra slab gumming up my everything. So better to be short on slabs than over. Walls, on the other hand, walls are pretty useful. I'll happily go over on walls. Now we have this problem again. The difficult part, my slab roof is good because it means nothing can spawn up here. But it's irritating because it means if I accidentally double click, I turn the slabs into a full block. And the only way to undo that is to break both slabs. Okay, stop that. Huh. Perfect on slabs. Now, here's the 4 memories. It says in a few days, but the blazing crystal speeds that up, so who knows how long that may or may not take. Important. I guess that's the answer. And are they killing each other? They have 100 health and regeneration. Yikes. But they're just babies. They are fighting each other. Very aggressively. And that one just charged me. Why are you guys such assholes? Well, I don't know if you guys need individual pens, or if I can just trust you not to burr each other. But I'm really thinking of erring on the side of individual pens. Especially since that one is so conveniently in a corner. Alright, that got 2. Can I let 1 out? Because 1 is moving. Perfect. Now you are in a corner. And you can just be there. That's fine. In fact, I can just put a block there. Now maybe this guy can go end up in his special individual pen. I mean, I know what they eat. So I can go grab some of the tea leaves and entice the last one to go in his pen. These are not grown enough to yield leaves. These still aren't real. Let me just get 1 jade petal. If they react to this the same way that all other animals react to food, then I should get him in his pen just fine. But I got right in here. Perfect. Now just stay in there. That growing up time is up there. But so is the fact that they all have jump height stats and speed stats. They all have the same jump height and speed stats. I should probably be concerned about that. Jade Petal makes blocks. Immunity Tea, Speed Tea, Frenzy Tea, maybe. And creates more kindlings. Jade Wine with live bulbs. Yikes. And Peach Jam with 8 of them that I don't have. The important thing is that we've made the weird critters that are definitely not dragons. Now we have to leave them to grow up. And we need to go to a color ruin. Those are plenty of dike ruins. I could try to raid those and get more jade bulbs. But the color ruin is the important one right now. What we need to do in the color ruin is bring moonstone powder especially, but also every other kind of gem powder. It looks like 3 of each maximum. I'm not seeing any tree that's made with more than 3. So 3 of each colored dust, to be absolutely certain. How am I so low on moonstone powder? Must have been the trees. Anyway, we have all these powders, and I've got to get to the color ruin to open up the final 2 secrets of the color ruin. If I remember right, we just kind of fell into that color ruin. It was in a canyon, and the preservation stone was pretty much right there. Oh, this is it. And this is the crevice that we fell in. Here it is. Where were we when I drilled into it? Not here. Or was it? Nope, not here. we've already been inside that one. It's just a matter of which side. Here we go. Have we not been in this one? No. This is a new one. Okay, well, we have lime. Lime is made with topaz and 2 citrine. Then we have purple, which is 2 topaz, 3 amethyst, and a citrine. That opens the way. And I can take my dust back. That gives us more amaranth grains, I guess. And a book of mending, which is kind of cool. And I don't need this citrine bud. The real thing is these 2 side areas that we couldn't open last time, which was a different color ruin, granted. But it's still areas we couldn't access previously. So brown. Brown is amethyst, 2 citrine, 2 onyx. And the way is open. And apparently these things can collect items that fall onto them, which I didn't know. A new trick from Roundels. That gives us an onyx cluster, topaz cluster, citrine cluster, more shimmerstone, and a gilded book. I don't know why that unlocked a recipe. It's not our first gilded book. Anyway, we have clusters to do stuff with later. And this book. Finally, we have gray. Gray is 2 onyx and a moonstone. Which means we couldn't possibly complete brown until we'd first discovered black. And then we couldn't possibly get through gray before discovering white, which is in the deeper down. That gives us, well, look at this, stratine, and fragments, and moonstone, and other crystals, unbreaking 2, power 5, the mysterious locket, and some end crystals just because. And a couple buds that I don't really care about. But the mysterious locket is the important thing here. It holds the final secrets of the mod. Aside from crafting budding onyx, which I know you can do, I just don't remember how to unlock it. Maybe I have to build the enchanter. Anyway, gilded books are made from jade petals and gold ingots, and they make enchantments cheaper and stuff. They do things around it in and around enchanting, specifically with the enchanter block. I may have to make one of these. I don't want to. It's another massive and stupid structure. And this one I hate for an objective reason that makes sense. And that reason is that the first time I built one, it just didn't work. I forget which enchantment I was trying to add or upgrade, but it was a perfectly legitimate enchantment. I followed the exact recipe in this book, and it didn't work. Here's the mysterious locket. We fuse it with a moonstone core and 16 white. And that sockets the core and does, I don't know, things. And or stuff. The important thing this very second is getting the heck back out of here. That's not how you do it. Just let me leave. So we can return home with the power of Slime Sling and fall damage immunity that isn't bouncy. I also don't know how I pulled off that much flight while carrying this routine. But let's not ask that kind of question. I also have 3 end crystals, which I guess do things. Do I need them for the dark conduits anymore? Not really. I need more gas tiers for that anyway. Probably better to use them for the resurrected modifier on things that don't have them. You've got it. You don't. And you could use the slot. You don't. But you already have 3 upgrade slots that I already don't know what to do with. You don't. And I kind of know what I want to do. No, I don't. I have 2 upgrade slots for pants that I don't know what to do with those either. Plate boots already has it. So I've got, 2 end crystals casually that I don't know what to do with. All these have to go back. I do not have the white pigment, but I have the trees. That is enough white pigment. Oh, let's replant the tree. We're not harvesting a ton of white right now. I just want to get this locket open. And the recipe was 16 white and a moonstone core. We also put so much ink in there. I know some of that was orange and black specifically for this. So get the black flask and the orange flask. Drink it down. Fill that while I deliver this one. Okay. I mean, it's working. It ain't great, but it's working. That's full of black. There's actually more black left over in here because we've hit the tank cap on the cinder hearth. Neat. Then the orange. And it's balanced out. So the cinder hearth is now fully fueled. Put the dusts back. Wait, there's one thing I'm forgetting. Liquid crystal. Alright, locket, core, white pigment, and liquid crystal. I think the book said that would take a while. Somewhere. Oh, well, there it is. It's open now. And it turned into a mysterious compass, which doesn't work in the overworld. Got some jade petals. The locket contained a small crystal bearing a dimmer yet much warmer glow while below bedrock. It vibrates as you turn. I also have to get that malachite dealt with. Moonstone powder. White ink. That's what the white ink was for. That's why I harvested just an absolutely stupid amount of white ink. I do find it kind of funny that the the radiant pin is producing light sources as I plummet down that drop shaft. Because let's be fair, it is dark down there, so it is doing its job. It's just very amusing that it doesn't need to. Anyway, we got moonstone. Have some moonstone powder. It's full. We got white ink. There's your white ink. To that we add a single piece of raw malachite. And it becomes a bud. And the crystallarium will now grow it. You know what might be nice, even though I hate the idea? A second crystallarium. Because this crystal growth can be a bit of a slow process. What was it, a magical block? New... Yes, actually. Bismuth, Altaria, and a bucket of liquid crystal. Heck, let's make 2 more. Though I don't know where I'll put the third one. Problem solved. And then that's 2 buckets of liquid crystal. Bismuth, Altaria. I'm gonna guess it was basalt over calcite, even though it never is. And hit it. We also still don't know what makes an efficiency slope tier 2. That particular secret remains undiscovered. Two more crystallariums. Kind of surprised they don't stack. Alright, what else we growing? I suppose that depends on what kind of ink we have available to us. I could grow redstone on yellow ink using shimmerstone. Where's all the shimmer stone? I know I have just an unhealthy amount of stacks of it. I have some here. Where is all the shimmer stone? I must have put it in a bundle, and then the bundle got cloned or replaced or something, because I should have just a stupid amount of shimmerstone stacks that clearly don't exist. Oh. Never mind. I'm an idiot. That's where all the shimmerstone is. So shimmerstone, a redstone, and yellow ink. I don't have a spare flask for yellow ink. Maybe I should make some more flasks. Like, at least 5. Probably more. Flasks are also made with shimmerstone. And glass. Funny how this is both 43. How did that happen? Amethyst powder is looking a little low. Onyx too, but not much I can do about that right now. I only need one of these right now. The rest can just go ahead and process. Grab some yellow. That's probably way too much yellow. Now I have redstone, and yellow, and shimmerstone. So that one can grow too. This bud is budding. The ink flask still has plenty. Now what else do I want to grow while we're at it? I don't actually have any netherite scrap, which is frankly bizarre. I've just been getting netherite ingots directly. And the only way to get debris Is blasting pure scrap from what I'm trying to accomplish, or ancient debris? Maybe we should go looking for more debris. Though surely not right now. Aha! I guess we'll try gold. I don't think I have the brown for gold, though. No, we have no brown. Whoa, that's ready as well. So let's try silk touching these and anviling them, because surely that's better. Whoops. We, not break that back there? So the redstone cluster smashes into 6 redstone dust. That's all it does. The malachite cluster has no smash recipe. So I guess I'll be anviling neither of these. And instead just... That's what I was looking for. Pure redstone and refined malachite. Which is teaching us a whole bunch more crap. Immediately refine some more malachite, because I know I'm going to eat a bunch of it, and just, we're getting recipes thrown at us left and right that I can't even read. Pure redstone blasts into redstone. It is apparently a beacon payment. It can make blocks, which come back into pure redstone. It's a component in the glass crest crossbow. And again, it blasts into regular redstone. So it does things. Not particularly useful things, but it does things. If I regular blast furnace it, I get 1. But if I cinder hearth it, I can get 4 to 6. Pretty neat. I think, though, that I need another chest here. Just to hang on to all the pure stuff that I'm creating. Refined malachite is used to repair malachite tools. This is why I have no interest in malachite tools. Because the refined malachite substance is so stupidly expensive, requiring crushed moonstone, and malachite ore, and white ink, and time, and it's just awful. I don't care how powerful these tools are, if this is what it takes to repair them. Maybe mending could solve the problem, but again, do I really care? Although we have here a glass crest ultra greatsword that does 15 damage, consumes white ink, and I could put mending on that, and that would solve its durability problem. It takes pure netherite scrap to make, though, so that puts me back to the netherite scrap problem. I apparently cannot grow stratine in the crystallarium. It also can make blocks. It makes the Ever-Promise ribbon. Why do I care? It goes into the work staff, the ultra great sword, the crossbow, the bident, and something I haven't discovered yet. And it doubles potion durations. I mean, doubling potion durations is not bad. It's quite the trick. Block of malachite does nothing. It's just a storage block and a potential beacon-based material. So I guess I'm taking this, and I'm not growing any more redstone. And we have a yellow flask. Do I get a brown flask to grow gold? Excuse me. I guess I could grow gold on gold nuggets. There's the nuggets. That's going to take a brown flask. That's what all these new flasks are for. Start playing around with the crystallarium nonsense. I might need more brown trees to make this happen. It's already set to brown. Hooray! 1.2k ink. Is that going to be enough? Absolutely not. I can use the yellow to grow glowstone. On shimmerstone. Which would be a further use of the yellow. Yep, gold's done. Now we have pure gold. That only cost 1,000 brown ink at least. Why do we care about pure gold? Well, it can make netherite cheap if I can get some netherite scrap. Other than that, though, it doesn't seem to be a big deal. Glowstone's done. It's just a lot faster than I gave it credit for. Pure glowstone is glowstone, and can make a pure glowstone block. Why would I want to do that? No reason. So basically the only reason I'm doing this at all is to see if it unlocks anything as we experiment with all the different pure materials. I know cyan was one that was important. Yeah, cyan is for emeralds. I think it was also for diamonds, yes. We can get diamonds off of coal or charcoal, or blocks of coal, which are used up less frequently but otherwise the same. And emeralds are also cyan. Frostbite consumes less ink. Every other option consumes more ink. But frostbite is not an issue. So we have frostbite, cyan, and an emerald. This is still happily running. It's eaten a lot of moonstone powder. Just a lot of it. Didn't I start with a stack? After the emerald, I'll do a diamond with the rest of the cyan. I also want to do a prismarine. What does that take? Also cyan. And it accelerates with a few things, but mermaid's gems are on the table. Wet sponge, though, consumes less ink and I guess doesn't get used up. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't think we have any sponge. If I do, I don't know where it would be. Probably would be in this chest or this chest, so I don't have any wet sponge. Or any sponge at all. I think we actually turned down the option of picking up some sponge at one point. Anyway, that's white, moonstone, malachite, fun stuff, I guess. Things are happening. We're not really making any discoveries, though. Emerald cluster is ready. I'll take the frostbite. Now it's time for charcoal, and cyan, and the diamond. Pure emerald is emerald and does nothing special. It just makes a frankly horrifying looking pure emerald block. Oh well, the experiments must continue. Coal, iron, gold is the third one. Diamond, emerald, redstone, lapis, copper, quartz. Yeah, lapis, copper, quartz, glowstone, prismarine, netherite, echo. And of course the malachite itself. Can I do copper? Copper is brown. Oh, the diamond is ready. Pure diamond. Goes into the glass crest work staff. And becomes diamond. It also consumed almost the entire stack of charcoal. Yikes. I also remember finding more light blue, which we all stuck in here. 14k. This will take more. And still it hungers for more light blue. It still hungers. Lapis needs purple. I seem to have a bunch of purple. So we make ourselves a jar of purple. And it accelerates with raw azurite. That's an expense. I do not want to do that. The other option is bottles of enchanting, which are also pretty expensive. So let's just try not catalyzing. I'll throw the lapis on here and the purple ink, and then just not add a catalyst and see what happens. Maybe it'll still grow. Well, I do have a spare of these actually, so they're not that stupidly valuable. I'm not going to use them up. I don't need more failing. Maybe they could be valuable here, but we'll worry about that later. Yeah, you can have them. Have the bottles. Boom. That was immediate. And it's done. It didn't even consume the bottles. So pure lapis is lapis and does nothing. Alright, we're continuing to learn the intricacies. So we need coal and iron, which I think we're both brown ink. Iron is brown, coal is brown. I don't have a whole lot of brown. I am not about to farm brown. I also don't think I need these two additional flasks, because none of these other colors are used in the crystallarium that I know of. I did see the achievement a while back for these things growing up fully. Oh geez. So apparently they're like angry horses. I can mount them, and they'll throw me off and attack me in the process. Which implies they can also be saddled. But what I'm going to do first is grab my shears and have this in my offhand to vacuum the results. And clip. Oh, he's mad. Oh, they are very mad. Run. We got effulgent feather, and I took a small amount of damage. Which is very, very important to recognize, because I have something like a full bar of health that you can't see as a result of my Azure Dyke stuff. I don't know why that full bar of health doesn't show up, but trust me, it's there. So we've stolen effulgent feathers, which make the dragon-rending pickaxe that has the raising property, the effulgent cushion that we've already stolen, carpets, blocks, onyx, glass arrows, just gemstone glass arrows made of malachite. That's a little frightening. They can be made with every gemstone, including bloodstone. And if I dip them in liquid crystal, we get bloodstone. So, alright then, let's get the liquid crystal bucket. In goes a feather. And we have raw bloodstone. Raw bloodstone is crystallarium with copper and red ink, so I do need another flask. And yeah, copper. Raw copper consumes additional ink. Ingots consumes less ink but gets used up. And pure copper, which I haven't made yet, because that requires more brown, consumes less ink. It also says required catalyst, so you can't skimp on the copper. Well, here's the bloodstone, the stack of copper, and the red ink. Get to work. I've got these feathers, and one more ink flask for we may discover what. Still packing the speed 5 for 15 seconds rock candy. Let's go ahead and sugar rush it. I can't eat it because I don't have empty stomach space. What a useless potion item. You keep yourself well fed, you can't use it. Hooray. Oh, we have more stuff to read. better go down inside and maybe consider making the enchanter, even though I hate the thing. Let's see. Pure resources. Grown in the crystallarium. They can't be furnaced, you must blast them. The cinder hearth doubles. And they can be compacted. And then there's better netherite when you start growing your own netherite. Bloodstone. Effulgent feathers. It doesn't actually tell you anything about them. Drops of blood will come along with the feathers, and it's crystalline. Set upon the crystallarium and given a precarious amount of copper, it becomes a slab of magic glass. Whatever you say. Effulgent deco. Blocks and carpets and cushions and carpets. Nightfall's blade. It doesn't inflict serious wounds. It has an attack speed of 2. Or 2 attack damage. But you infuse it in the potion workshop with a potion effect, and then it consumes ink to inflict that potion effect on whatever you hit. I mean, making a low damage wither blade would be interesting, especially if you could make a very powerful potion of wither. That would also drink ink, so is it worth it? And we have glass arrows. Topaz pulls them toward you. Amethyst freezes for a slow MDOT. Citrine knocks them away. Onyx resets invisibility frame and pierces armor. Moonstone explodes. Enchanted food. Good entry. There's still one locked thing in this chapter. And I think it's one more book, but I can't be sure. And then the enchanter's telling us about raising. Higher mining speed, the harder a block is to break. So this just tears through things like obsidian and wait. Could this tear through downstone? I kinda doubt it. But maybe. Two dragon bone chunks and 2 smooth basalt. It's cheap. There's no reason not to give it a shot. Especially since we're going back to the Deep Under very soon. Here we go, it's raising 1. Can I do anything here? No. You can add efficiency. And it's going to need unbreaking because it's going to have low durability. Hooray, 1 more pickaxe. As if I didn't have enough. It's run out of copper. Keep the copper going. Shockingly, I think we're gonna need more copper. Let's just get all the copper. Actually, in addition to worrying about the copper, yeah, red ink is low too. So that's also gonna be an issue. I guess we're gonna farm some trees after all. Couldn't avoid it. And this is what we'll do in lieu of bone meal. Alright, that's more red ink. Which will keep the bloodstone going. Up to a large bud. And the ink is very low. Hopefully this can do it. Gotta get you up to a cluster, man. Can't do anything until you're a cluster. And I'm not gonna sit up here and babysit it. We're going down into the deeping depths, perhaps for the final time. Perhaps. Oh. And this color ruin, we can turn black, because we took everything from it. The compass has figured itself out, wants us to go that way. I'll do that in a minute. First, we're going all the way down the staircase. Just to see if raising can break downstone. I'm guessing no, but it would be worth a try. It probably would have been smart to first test and see if raising could break bedrock. Because if it can't do that, it definitely can't do downstone. Dragonbone, still invincible, but Dragonbone is explained away as being magically shielded. Downstone. Yeah, that's gonna be a no. So the purpose of raising is breaking obsidian. And that's it, that's what it's for. Hang on, the compass moved. Alright, let's see where this goes then. I have no idea if the downstone layer is the correct altitude. I keep saying altitude, but I mean depth. It's kind of hard to grasp the correct terminology for being so far deep. Deep in the down, in the under, and the beneath. The compass be moving, though. So we can't be that far away from the target. Just going a little higher so I don't run into the downstone, thereby get stuck. Now we have downstone above us, completely foiling that plan. More downstone. This is precisely what I didn't want to happen. There's just big, annoying boulders of it in my way. Hello, even more downstone. Is there no end to the irritation, you trees. Also, I think the jittering of the compass lied to us. Because this thing, the needle hasn't moved during this whole journey. It still says mostly straight forward and slightly to the left. And nothing we've done has yet caused it to move. There was a warning from the mod developer, actually, that the location this compass points to is, by design, quite far from where you enter. So we could be drilling like this for quite a while. Quite possibly the only thing less interesting than harvesting trees. At least the radiant pin keeps us lit up. Ooh, emeralds. Tasty. Back on track. Compass still says north. It may be starting to waver westward, though. But then I keep thinking that's the case, and it hasn't been. And I keep hitting more and more downstone in the way, forcing me to climb ever higher and go around. What? Something's wrong here. There we go. My inventory was full, but I couldn't pick up that diorite. So there's no reason I shouldn't have been able to pick up the diorite. It just wasn't real. The diorite wasn't real. This just in, diorite isn't real. At least it's peaceful and quiet down here. No erasers. We haven't bumped into a single silverfish. We're just chilling and drilling all the way. Imagine doing this with the Hephaestus hammer. It would make a wider tunnel, but it would be slower, and it definitely wouldn't have lasted this long. I mean, how far have we gone? 450 meters is not an accomplishment. Since the raising pickaxe didn't do what I wanted it to, let's try it. It's even slower. I thought it might be faster on this stone type, being a deeper and tougher stone type. But no, not this time. I should be at a higher depth. Instead of just drilling all the way, I should be exploring at some depth where there's open space to travel. But at this point, I'm just committed to the bit. The compass remains ever steady. And Minimap tells me that there are pockets of dragon rock up ahead. No telling if that's at our depth or underneath us. I mean, we have a way to check. It's above us, significantly above us. So, no cause for alarm. That is a very loud cave noise for the dragon rock pools we're passing under. Raw malachite. Useless. We have more than enough, and it's way too expensive to refine. Sure, I'm glad I have a bottomless bag with black slag. There is no way I'd have made it this far without completely loading my inventory with black slag. If it weren't for that bag. How far? Almost 700. That is still practically nothing. Oh, hello, more moonstone. Fancy seeing you here. Okay, well, interesting, but not especially valuable. Black slag moonstone ore. First time I've seen moonstone ore. That's the geode, lava pocket. There's really not much around here for cave space. So if I went upwards, I'd be just as boned digging and slogging along through solid rock. Looks like we're coming up to a crystal garden, though. That could be interesting. It's still too far away to see. Oh, silverfish. About time some of those boys decided to harass us. Oh, there's more of them. Several more. We're also passing another moonstone geode. And the needle on this compass has hardly moved a pixel. I wouldn't mind breaking up into this crystal garden. Because Crystal Garden is a pretty nice place. I don't know how I got uncobbled black slag, but that's got to go. Anyway, now that we're here, more little bismuth crystals everywhere. Maybe we can collect some jadeite petals. Those are bulbs. That is one jadeite petal. Even though for every single block I broke, something fell on me and I picked it up. But none of them were jadeite bulbs or petals. So what fell on me? What did I collect? Not a clue. Maybe I need to get my axe down here. 1 petal, mostly bulbs. Also, I chopped the entire column. And still got nothing. Maybe sticks. I'm just collecting a whole bunch of worthless garbage. How do you get jadeite petals? It doesn't tell you. And everywhere I look, no matter how high up or low down I go, it is still solid rock in my way. Continuing to try to go, oh, way up here we have opening. But now we're way up at the deep dripstone cave, which is several layers too high. We're practically out of black slag area. Yeah, now we're in deep barrens, which is basically the surface. Uh-oh. I can't just ram that wall. That won't work. And we still need to go north. Which is becoming increasingly difficult to do. I should have just stayed down there and kept drilling. Because trying to play this cave game is, it's not working. There's too much up and down. And I just hit a wall anyway. And now we are all the way back down with the erasers and the explosives. Come and get me. I'll blow the flower. I will. Boom. Who else wants some? I'll find more flowers and blow those too. Looks like there's a city this way. Now we're being chased into the hole. This is very bad. even literally adjacent to me, I'm having trouble hitting them. I cannot afford to die this far from home. Oh no. Now we really are going to die. I missed the block. Dragon Rot takes no prisoners. And so ends that particular expedition. Rod of red ink here again. Which is actually kind of weird, because I think that's the same amount of red ink that was in there before we left. So maybe just in the simple world transition, there was an error in saving the world data. Well, let me work on unpacking my failure. We have too much diorite. I guess these clusters will solve a little bit of our dust issues. If I can get 16 onyx powder out of that. Let me also throw the miscellany. So, we tried to reach the final room and got eaten. Just absolutely torn apart. By way too many problems. Also fell in Dragon Rot, which, that was a death sentence. Especially since we couldn't get back out again. But, given our little trial there, and the current time, I think it's prudent to call it done for the day. I'll just dump that. I will leave you with one last bit of fun. These guys are rideable if you have a saddle. And they are excellent for crossing vertical distances because they fly like you wouldn't believe. They can just be a little troublesome to manage because they can get temperamental. And then they'll start stabbing you. Or worse, breathing primordial fire. Clipping the effulgent feathers, of course, makes them angry, as we saw already. He's going to throw me off repeatedly. I'm just going to keep trying to ride this one until it works. There we go. Now he can have the saddle. And boy, can they jump. Don't think because he's tamed and has a saddle that he's harmless. This is a mistake. He is still perfectly capable of throwing a tantrum and stabbing me to death. But I am going to take him out for a spin as a kind of final bit of fun before shutting down for the day. And he doesn't fit out the door. Of course not. There we go. They are fast. Absurdly fast. I mean, my horse is completely obsolete now. They have fall damage protection because they just kind of glide. And when they jump, they flap their little wings. And you can queue up an additional jump. Apparently, I just learned this very moment. So I can charge a jump just like a horse, and I can do it while we're in the air. Which means the next time he touches the ground, he instantly boings right back up. It is slower, though, than just sprinting madly across the plains. Yeah, his sprint is so much faster than his glide. And it really puts the horse to shame. It's fast enough that you really have to be careful on multiplayer servers because you could easily outrun the game's ability to load additional chunks for you. And we're already seeing a bit more lag than usual because of all the terrain that I'm present in. The bunnies are broken and lag skipping around. It gave me a rabbit's foot, though. How long ago do we need one? Whee! Strange, resurrected, prehistoric griffin cat creature. Out. And it gives me a stab as I leave. They're temperamental. It doesn't really matter to me that they give you regeneration after they stab you. They do a lot more damage than their own regeneration can heal. Yeah, Rabbit's Foot makes slime boots, and the luck modifier that I wanted so long ago. Also makes the takeoff belt, which is one of the reasons we don't have one. And jump boost and slowness potions. Not an incredibly amazing item. Not at all. Maybe I should just leave the saddle and armor on him. I mean, it's better than carrying it around. This will, of course, earn me another stab. Now, I honestly don't know if they attack on purpose or if touching their horn simply does damage. I do know that when they're charging you, the difference is academic. Either way, that is pretty much a spectrum. There's still the final room to contend with, which we may find tomorrow, or I may just call it a wash and not care. Honestly, hard to say at this point. We have discovered most of what there is to... Yeah, pull the copper already. We've discovered pretty much everything there is to discover. Done almost all there is to do. We haven't made the super tools, because they're expensive and irritating. But practically every other thing that the mod has to offer we have seen and done. So, we'll turn that off for now, deal with that later, and I will see you next time. Until then,